Back to Black Site tonight. We're going to talk about Jasmine Crockett having a meltdown after losing her House seat to redistricting in Texas. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Jasmine Crockett has lost her House seat in Texas, and she had an epic meltdown during a town hall talking about losing her seat. She is losing her seat because Republicans decided to redistrict, and now Republicans have 30 seats, Democrats have 8 seats. But let's tell the truth. The Democrats have been gerrymandering seats for decades. In New York State, which I live, they even tried to gerrymander the seat even more. But the Supreme Court, the liberal Supreme Court in New York State said, enough is enough. We see what they have done in Illinois, California, New Jersey, Massachusetts, where some of those states have very little or no Republicans because of gerrymandering. So Republicans have finally decided to stand up, put their foot down, and in Texas, they saying we're doing the same thing as Democrats is doing. Now DeSantis in Florida is talking about doing it. Ohio and DeWine is talking about doing it to increase the House seats for Republicans, so it'll be extremely tough for Democrats to take over the Congress in 2026. So Jasmine Crockett is extremely mad because now if she runs for Congress, she has to run basically in a Republican district in which this woman has basically defamed Trump, the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, in which she mocked his disabilities. Didn't you think eventually the Republicans was going to strike out? And when they came, they was going to come after you because you had the loudest mouth? Sometimes people need to step back and just watch instead of always talking, always being the crash test dummy for the Democrat Party. And which proved that she was the crash test dummy is when she ran for the Oversight Committee's minority chairman. No Democrat voted for her. She basically finished last in trying to get that seat. But what told me a lot about Jasmine Crockett was the Atlantic article in which her colleagues, her staff, talked about that she was rude, disrespectful to her staff. And her colleagues thought that she was a social media creation, that she didn't take being a congresswoman seriously. Her staff said she was lazy, only showed up when the cameras were turned on. That's what they said about Miss Crockett. But now that Miss Crockett, a girl who grew up in an affluent family in Missouri, went to an affluent private school, one of the most affluent in the country, went to a great liberal arts institution called Rhodes, and now at the age of 40 something, she's talking like she's Myquisha, Naquisha, and whatever Quisha you could think of in Congress, popping that neck, rolling that eyes, something she never did. Until the Democrat Party told her, you got to put on a performance. And that's when she started her performance routine. Because this is not how Jasmine Crockett was raised. When you saw her take her seat into Congress, when you saw her interview, this wasn't the same woman. But the Democrats tell you, you got to act this way. You got to get out in front of the cameras. You got to call racism every 5 seconds. That's your job. And she took on that job. And now it has come to her detriment. She has no place to run. There is no carved out black district in Texas for her. She has to run a legitimate campaign in a white district, and I don't think she wants to do it because she knew that in that district she had a job for life, and they took that away from her. Where's she gonna move to? Another district? Possibly. She get a job at MSNBC? Possibly. Get her a YouTube podcast? Possibly. But Greg Abbott and the Republicans in the House and Senate in Texas used their power, just like every other state has done in the past, to secure as many seats as they can for their party, even though they did it through the midstream. They had the power to do that. And she had a meltdown. She had a rant. And she's still having a rant, especially against Trump and Greg Abbott. Those are the two people who had enough power to destroy your career. And what did they do? See, this is a new Republican Party. This isn't the party run by George W. Bush. This is the party run by the strong man, Trump. And he will put the hammer down on the Democrat Party. Just like he's doing with illegal migrants, just like he's doing with Merrill over in Washington, D.C., trying to secure the streets in D.C. He will do that because that's who Trump is. And when you challenge Trump, expect for him to come back in tenfold. And he came back tenfold, and you losing your job. See, this is why you should be out there fighting for reparations. This is why you should be out there fighting for an FBA agenda. But you out there fighting for illegal migrants. You out there fighting for the LGBTQ community. You're not fighting for FBAs. You're not fighting for a black agenda. You fight for people of color. So now, every dog has his day, and your day has come. You wasn't thinking how this could all fall apart. But Trump, Abbott, and the Republicans had a plan. And when you don't have a plan like the Democrat Party, and when you out just winging it every day, this is what happens to you. You get stepped on. And Trump, Abbott, and the Republicans just stepped on all the Democrats in Texas. I want to hear your comments in the comments section. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. Hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.